Hey folks, it's Sully here from the Gun Club. As you know, on this channel, a lot of times we do various stories on firearms, and self-defense, and of course, personal safety. Well, this video is kind of along those lines, but it's a little bit of a departure from some of the stuff I usually cover. And this one's coming from the heart tonight because we look at what happened about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, up at Brown University in Rhode Island, where two students were tragically killed, several others wounded, by what amounts to a madman loose on campus for whatever reason. Um, that incident, there's a lot coming out from that, and there's going to be on this channel a much bigger deep dive coming up in the future. But I wanted to do a short video just to sort of put a little bug in your ear, make you think a little bit, maybe. Um, didn't want to wait. This is kind of important, and I wanted to come out right around Christmas time as we're all getting together, especially for those of y'all who are either in college or the families who have kids home from college. Maybe have a little discussion with your kids when they come home. And again, I'm not trying to ruin Christmas morning. This isn't got to be done around the Christmas tree, but something to think about and a little food for thought for them. Maybe give them a little different perspective. I remember back when I was in college, it wasn't that many thousand years ago. And I remember nobody, wanted to be seen as, buddy buddy with the campus cops at campus PD. They were always the bad guy. They were always the negative. You know, Personally, having grown up around firefighting and emergency services, didn't really have a problem with the campus cops. I got along with them well. From time to time, when I'd see them out late night on a foot beat, I'd offer them a cup of coffee if I had a pot of coffee on. It's before Keurigs. I don't think Keurig even existed way back when. I was friendly to them, got along with them well. This incident up at Brown highlights something that's really, really disturbing or bothering to me. Now, if we think back, the shooting occurred December 13th, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The bad guy had been seen in the area as of November 28th, December 1st, by a custodian, had been seen by the gentleman, John, who was living in the physics building. I'm sure students had to have seen him. I'm sure some of the Brown University students coming and going, they live in these areas. This is their campus. I mean, if you've got a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class or a Tuesday, Thursday class at the same time, you pass the same people walking back and forth. You see a lot of the same people in the same places. Colleges, campuses have routines. It would not surprise me if students could have noticed that strange car there that's never been here before with Florida tags. A strange man. I mean, if you look at the guy involved, he does not look like your average campus co-ed. I can throw a picture of him up in here in the video, and pretty sure you'll admit that he does not fit the description of the average college student. Now, there may be other grown adults in and out of the building, professors, visiting professors, that type of thing. My thought is, however, throughout all of this, nobody thought to question who he was. Nobody, out of all the people who had to have seen him and walked past him, thought to do the simplest: pick up the phone. We all carry one with us every day. Call campus PD and say, "So a weird car been parked outside here with Florida tags on it. Someone check that out." No, I know nobody wants to be the Karen. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. After all, it's not cool to be a narc and call campus cops. Yeah. Is it cool to get shot? Is it cool to watch your classmates get shot? Folks, if you've got your kids home from college, teach them: if you see something, say something. If it's not enough to call the campus cops, maybe ask when you go into that lecture hall and you're seeing your professor in there. Ask your professor, do we have some weird visiting professor here or something? There's a guy walking around outside. Never seen him here before. There's a weird car without a state tags. Never seen it here before. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's Dr. So-and-so, he's visiting and doing lectures upstairs. Great, folks. 2 students died, 8, 9 others wounded. Besides what happened subsequently at MIT. People never talked to anyone about it. People never called anyone about it. When your kids go back to school, please do what we can, because again, we were seeing these things happen. Your kids, I get the fact, I can bitch all day about gun-free campuses. I'm not going to change what Brown University does about a gun-free campus. But they had campus security or campus police. I'm not sure whether they're sworn or not. I understand there is a difference. We had both on my college campus. And I can tell you that I knew the lieutenant. Her name was Helen. I know her last name. Not going to name her. We had Bill. He was not sworn law enforcement. He was security. He'd usually be around the campus till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. If I was out and about, especially coming back and forth, being with the volunteer rescue squad, I'd see Bill out patrolling. I can tell you, I always treated Bill with respect. He was a nice older guy. Worked in the area, lived in the area. Everybody knows, oh yeah, the campus cops, they bust our parties and they go after us for DUI and underage drinking and all the bad stuff about them. They're also our first line of defense from these invaders coming into these soft spaces to do bad things to people. If your kids, if nothing else, over this holiday, give them a minute and say, I know everyone thinks the campus cops are the bad guys. And your friends may all think they're the bad guys. But they're the first line of defense to say something's not right on that campus or that person doesn't belong here. Why is that car cruising around looking at things? Are they there to abduct? Are they there to break into people's cars and steal their laptops and iPads and phone chargers? Are the bad guys there just looking for a couple of campus co-eds that they can throw in their van, take off and sell into who knows what? Folks, it's out there. Evil exists. And we don't like to think about it. We don't like to play the game. But folks, get your kids in the mindset of if you see something, say something. This case at Brown highlights to me, again, I can pull my data up here on it. He was seen twice on campus in November. Or once in November, once the 1st of December. The guy who encountered him, who lived in the basement, said, man, his clothing doesn't really fit our weather around here. He's behaving kind of suspiciously. Led to a cat and mouse game around the area. Even confronted the man. What are you doing? Your car's back there. What's up? Now, he didn't want to draw a lot of attention. Maybe he didn't want people to know he was still on campus or that he was living in the area. But folks, if someone had said something, this could have been prevented. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. College campuses are great, amazing targets for people wanting to steal fancy cars. If the locals need to steal something, they can't steal. Some of the locals, in real impoverished areas, they can't steal from their neighbor because their neighbor ain't got nothing either. Kids, your car's on campus. What do you leave in your cars? Laptops, phones again, iPads. Who knows what they can get? Please think about it. If you see something, say something. This is a totally preventable incident that could easily have been taken, care of. Could have been prevented. The 2 students who were gunned down, and subsequently the professor, didn't have to happen. I don't know, and I'm sure in the after action report there'll be plenty of discussion about how this flew under campus cops' radar forever. But campus cops, maybe 1 or 2 people, I don't know how big the campus is, how many they got on duty a shift, they're out doing their thing. But the kids going to and from this building do it the same time, the same day, on a regular basis. They know what's normal. And nobody wants to be the narc. Nobody wants to be the snitch. But guess what? Could have saved their classmates' lives. So adults, please, if you got your kids, talk to them for a minute and say, how did this happen that this guy flew under the radar for so long? If that happened at your campus, would you feel comfortable calling up and say, "Can someone just check this guy out? This is some weird guy." Maybe he's just looking to go into one of the girls' dormitories and steal a bunch of laundry out of the washing machines. Who knows? Maybe he's just wanted to go into one of the girls' dormitories and grab a couple of girls and throw them somewhere. College campuses should be safe for our students, for our kids. I want them to be. But on the other side of the coin, the kids got to meet the campus cops halfway or campus security halfway. They got to help be the eyes and ears just a little bit. Tell us when something's not right. Tell us when something's wrong. Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it honestly, and I'm going to say it from the heart. I've known campus cops. Again, I went to college. I knew our campus. We had our cops and our public safety security people. They were all decent human beings. A lot of them lived in town, wanted to work that area. Some of them had kids going to the school. Some of them had gone to the school themselves. Every one of them there, I can honestly say, would have done anything to try to protect the kids. And this again goes with high school SROs too. They want to protect their kids from whatever goes on. And when I say their kids, they look at them as their kids. Make no mistake. They're good men and women who are trying to do a job. And if the kids on campus can help out, meet them 50%, be much, much more effective. If they've got 2-3 officers on per shift, that's 3 sets of eyes per shift. Be that other 1,000 sets of eyes. Do what you can, kids. Parents, get this in your kids' mind. Campus cops ain't the enemy. Campus security ain't the enemy. Yeah, they might have busted your buddy or your frat bro for that drunk in public, or they might have, gotten upset when everybody had the puking contest off the balcony on the second floor of the SIGAP house. What am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, we get it. But on the other side of that coin, the men and women who are there are also there to protect our students, protect our kids, protect our next generation. And making their job easier by helping be an extra set of eyes, extra set of ears, seeing something, saying something, should go without saying. So again, please don't view this as an adversarial relationship. Review them as the people there to keep you safe. And if you can help them by passing along, that car is weird. I don't know why that white van's cruising around says free candy on the side of it. This guy was seen repeatedly. If at the moment the homeless guy saw him, the homeless guy, John, I think it's great he's getting he helped solve it. He's getting the reward. Glory be. I hope this does wonders for John. I really do. But at the moment he had the encounter with him, if he had called 911, 2 kids are still alive. I'd give him twice the reward. Unfortunately, we had to have the tragedy happen first. Folks, that's what I got for it. I appreciate you all checking in, listening. Again, this is a little bit off our beaten path, but it's coming from the heart on this one. When I see something like this happen, that's so senseless and could have so easily been prevented. This is not random. The guy was in the area and seen repeatedly. Just nobody thought to call anyone. Wasn't that big a deal. Going forward, hey, if you want more information, check out some of the other videos on our channel. We've got all kinds of stuff on there. If you want information about classes, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. We also have our Rumble library. And again, if you want information on specifics, you can email me at mike.southeastdefense@gmail.com. We're here. We're doing this stuff. And also, I want to give a big special shout out from our at the Gun Club to Blackout Coffee, who makes all this possible. Folks, if you want a damn good cup of coffee and you want to give money to people who support our 2A rights, check out Blackout Coffee. You can use promo code Sully. You get 20% off your first order. And again, when you buy from Blackout, you're supporting companies that support your Second Amendment, support the 2A. They've got all sorts of blends from Second Amendment Foundation to Gun Owners of America. They've also got all kinds of fruit coffees. Personally, I like flavored coffee. It's an old Dennis Leary thing. But beyond that, check out, all their stuff, all their flavors. Check out some of their stuff. And hey, like I said, you get a nice discount, 20% off your first order. So by all means, rock that out. And we appreciate you, Blackout, for sponsoring this. I'm hoping that maybe one person out there sees this video along the way, goes back to campus and says, and maybe even lets their roommate know, or the suite mates or the people down the hall or one of their frat bros or sorority sisters. You know what? That thing that happened up at Brown, that guy was cruising around looking for a while. We need to have our eyes open and be a little aware of weird stuff on campus. And when we see it, we need to talk to somebody, whether it's a faculty member or the Campus 5-0s, the Campus Popos. Like I said, I knew the ones personally. I was in and out all hours of the night with the rescue squad, number one, and the fact that I'd see them walking around patrolling, and if I saw them come past, especially on a cold night, I'd walk outside and say, "Excuse me, yeah, made a pot of coffee about 15 minutes ago. If you want a cup." Imagine, guess what? Maybe my dorm got a few extra patrols from time to time. And maybe the fact that I had my rescue squad gear in the front seat of my car was safer. The men and women who work there, they're there for y'all. And yeah, they bust up your parties. I get it. Okay. They just don't want you to wake up dead. On the other side of the coin, hey, those are the men and women that could have called this guy. Take it for what it's worth. Peace out. Y'all be smart. Be safe.